It means you want to do everything by yourself. You want to wash, you want to clean, you want to this, you want to cook. Nah. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, you're gonna have fun here, so do not forget to click the subscribe button and join the family. And if you're returning, what's up? So today we are going to be talking about the top 10 mistakes I made in my 20s. So this video maybe should have come much earlier, maybe around when I just clocked 30, but that time I wasn't even on YouTube. So yeah, we're going to do this now. It's better late than never. Some of these mistakes, please note, that are peculiar to me. Everyone's journey is not the same, and I'm speaking for myself because the truth is that there are some things that I did that some people may feel like, okay, yeah, this is okay. But then bearing in mind that we all have our goals, we all have our dreams, we all know what we want from life. Personally, I already, now knowing what I know today, I already know that some of those things, if I have my way, I would definitely not find myself there anymore. The first mistake I made in my 20s was working just hard. So basically working hard and not working smart. There are two different things here. When you are working hard, you are basically putting in all your efforts into making something to be successful, right? But ideally, knowing what I know now, I'm supposed to work both hard and smart. So I give you an example. There were some things relating to my business that I did at the time that, to be honest, looking at it today, the stress that it put me through, for example, there were some classes I did that, maybe because I charged a certain kind of fee, the work I put in and the number of people I had to serve was definitely nothing compared to, what I know now. Right now, I'll rather focus on the number of people who can, afford what I charge and be able to, have less people, have less stress on myself, and also be able to, give them the quality. The quality never reduced. The difference is that I'm less stressed out than I used to be. So basically, sometimes you're putting an effort into something. It's not necessarily that you're doing the wrong thing. It just could be that you're basically, what you're doing could also give you even a better result with less effort. So it varies from one person to another. For me, not just for my work, generally, I started learning that there are some things that, it's not about how much effort you put. It's about thinking about it from a totally different perspective and asking yourself, what other way will I do this thing in a way that I do less work, but at the same time get even more results? That is exactly where I am right now. Number two is giving too much attention to people's opinion about me. I have always been that person who wanted to be behind the scene. I feel like, being a makeup artist generally just puts us in this place where we are basically always behind the scene. And if you're not careful, it begins to eat into your personality. And I'm not going to lie to you, I was there. So anybody who is going through that, trust me when I tell you that I can relate to it. I was there. I was that person who wouldn't want to do stuff because I was worried about what people would think about me. Till now, I still feel like I'm not totally there yet, like in terms of being, I would say I'm like 80% better than how I was in my 20s, because the truth about it is that right now I'm at that place where I ask myself three basic questions. Does this please God? Does this make me and my family happy? And does this serve the purpose for which I was created? If these three answers are met, whatever any other person thinks or says, to be honest, matters very little. So it doesn't mean that, there are no people that I listen to, or, maybe people who are close to me, like family. Yes, of course. But then at the end of the day, if the opinion does not meet or fit into these three basic categories, I do not think I'm going to go with it. It's a different thing if I do not have peace about that thing. But trust me when I tell you, always doing and living on people's opinion about you is just basically like you're living in a cage, right? It's almost like you're living in a cage. And I know some of you are already wondering why she's using her hands to retouch her hair. Please, that's the way I know how to do. I have my gloves here, but it makes it so slow and I don't want my head to start burning. Anyway, that's on the side. So The third mistake I made in my 20s was dreaming too small. I need an amplifier. I need a louder I need a louder microphone to amplify this topic. I know that I have a lot of young people who follow my page both on Instagram or here on my YouTube or whatever. See, guys, dream big. I cannot begin to talk about. I know we hear this often, but I don't think the amount of what is the word? I don't think the amount of I don't think we throw so enough light on this topic. You need to dream big. I got to that point in my life where I began to understand that every single thing I want in life has already been handed over to me. Just by mere being a child of God. Like, if we really understand the deep meaning of what it is to call yourself sons of God, child of God, then we understand. It's almost like a princess, somebody who is the daughter to a king, believing or thinking or doubting or wondering where certain things will come from, where food will come from, wondering if it's possible that they will have access to certain luxuries of life that they want. There is something that comes with royalty. There's something that comes with knowing that you're attached or you are heir to the kingdom. Like, we do not understand this meaning, and I'm even still on that journey where I am working hard each day to really understand the true meaning of this. But then I feel like each day that I try, I get closer to this understanding, knowing that you are like connected to the kingdom of God. I see the truth about life is that a lot of the things I have today were once my prayer point. A lot of the things I have today were things that I, in my young mind, didn't even think were possible. Right? The truth about it is that you get to that point where you need to start dreaming big. I want to live in a very massive, beautiful house. I want to be wealthy. I don't want to be rich. I want to be wealthy. If you really understand the meaning of riches and wealth, then you would understand and you act and pray accordingly. The moment I understood the true meaning of wealth and the true meaning of riches, I chose that I wanted to be wealthy. Because not just because I want to be wealthy for the aim of being wealthy, but the things that God has called me to do, I cannot do them broke. The things that I need, the people I need to impact their lives, to a very large extent, there's a lot of money needed to, do that. And I know for every stage of the way, God is always there. So God has already given me access to everything I need. So I'm in that place where my mindset has, I'm at that place where there is nothing that somebody can tell me to belittle the things that I know that I can do in life. And I feel for me like that is the biggest mindset shift I've ever had till date. Number 4 is not living in the moment, basically waiting for the right time to do things. No matter how many years you still have to live, you are getting closer and closer and closer to your grave each new day. We need to understand that there is no right time to do things. If you want to start a business, stop giving excuses. Stop saying, oh, when I do this, when I do that. You just may never get there. Let us be realistic. This is something that we do not want to talk about. Nobody wants to talk about these things. But that is the reality that we live in. If $2 is what you want to put aside for a vacation, start putting it aside. You find out that at the end of the year, that money will be able to take you somewhere. Maybe not necessarily where you are dreaming. But the point is that there is no right time to start doing things. Little bits and pieces of things make bigger things. Little bits and pieces or little baby steps take you to the bigger goal. Stop waiting for the right time. In my 20s, I would say, okay, when I make this amount of money, I'll do this. Nah, not anymore. Because the truth about it is that what you have now is someone else's prayer points. And someone else is praying to have what you have now so that they can do the thing that you're saying when you are bigger, you will do. That is the reality of life. We need to understand that every passing hour is not even like the next hour is not even promised. So learn to live in the moment. Learn to, it doesn't mean go and be wasteful. It doesn't mean don't have a plan. It doesn't mean don't invest, don't save. No, it just simply means that those things that really do matter in life, give them a shot. Stop waiting for the right time. Number 5 mistake I made in my 20s was doubting God's capabilities. Oh goodness me, if you follow me on any platform, you will know how much I'm at this place where I am growing every day in my love for God and the things I want to, like the relationship I'm building with God. See guys, I'm not here to tell you that, oh yeah, I'm there yet, oh I pray every day. No, I still have the days that I wake up and I struggle to pray. I still have the times when I fall back to sin. Everyone sins. There are times that I do things that I'm not proud of. The truth about it is that, but then I got to this point where I started understanding that, this journey, it's not about how good you are. It's not about how perfect you are. It's about the daily steps you take towards making sure that you do not go back to where you're coming from. I started learning that, like with God, every single thing is possible. With God, every single thing is possible. Like I started opening my mind to the things that God has done in the past. Not just to me, but to people who we are reading in the Word of God today. I started understanding that God has come through for people in worst situations. What more me? If God is the one who has given me the assurance that go, I will go before you. Go, I got you, like I am here with you. Why am I waking up each day worried? Whatever God allows me to go through is because it's part of the journey. I started learning that whatever God allows me to go through is not because God is not able to take me out of it, but it's because it is part of the journey. 30s, I came with a different mindset. Like each day it has to be better than it was yesterday. Number 7 is, in my 20s, I was overly explaining myself. Any small thing, I want to explain the reason why I did it, the reason why it was like that, the reason why this happened, the reason why that happened. Not anymore. Of course, there are people that when there are certain things that would happen and there are certain things that you would owe, and there are certain people you would owe an explanation. But the truth about it is that the explanation I owe people now are explanations that are worth explaining. But if it's basically explaining how or why I do certain things that I do, I don't owe anybody that explanation. I'm at that place where my mindset has shifted. My life has changed. Like, there are people that I would, have need to, once in a while explain for a certain reason. But not that I'm trying to explain the reason why I'm doing the things that I know are good things, right? Like, at some point, I got into that place where I would be misunderstood at different times. I would be judged at different times. Nobody who lives on this earth that expects or believes that, 247, people will always understand your actions. People will understand the reason why you're doing what you're doing. Some people will and some people won't. Some people, even when you've made the effort to explain, they will still choose not to understand. So why waste your energy? I'm really not in that place. I don't even have the time to start trying to explain myself anymore. At this point in my life, I'm basically just trying to, focus on, what I know makes me happy and the right thing to do. The other mistake I definitely made in my 20s was doing too much. Jackie. Nigerians will call it Jackie. It means you want to do everything by yourself. You want to wash, you want to clean, you want to this, you want to cook. I'm not doing all that. This 30s, I am learning that not every single money that comes to my account is meant to be for me. Some of that money is meant to go to getting, once in a while, somebody cooks for me. Once in a while, if I can afford to get somebody to clean, they should come and clean. I'm not about to kill myself early. There is no trophy in woman who works the most. There is no trophy in, you're the one that, if you can afford to get somebody to hold the kids for a while so that you can go and chill and have a little bit of fun, please do it. If you can afford to get somebody to come and clean, do it. Especially those that live abroad, just like myself. It's not easy. There's no family, personally speaking for myself, I don't have any family member sitting around who is there waiting for me to come and drop the kids. So any opportunity I get to ease myself off some of the workload, I would definitely grab it. In my 20s, I was always busy. I'll come from work, I'll come home, clean, cook. I still do those things, but the point is that now I do them sparingly. I try not to I do them with sense. I don't overdo. There are basic things that nobody can do for me, like taking care of my kids and all those things. But things like maybe getting buying bowls of food once in a while. There are times that you have the time, you do all these things. But I'm not about to finish work. Sometimes I work till evening, I come back, my kids are already waiting for me to do this and do that for them, and then I enter the kitchen, I have to clean, I still have to cook. No, sometimes I'm going to delegate responsibilities, and that is something I'm not going to even compromise. By God's grace, in the future, God will provide the resources. The resources will be there by God's grace for me to be able to even do it better, so that I can have time for the bigger things that God that I'm here on earth for. God did not create me to cook, clean, and work and then die. That no, God, there's so much more for which we were created. So it's not just especially people like us from Nigeria who we grew up knowing that cleaning, all this basic housework and all that is normal. But the truth is that sometimes when it becomes too much, because you get older, the responsibilities double, triple. No, be selective on the things that you can handle and know the things that you can delegate and pay for them. The other mistake I made in my 20s was spending too much time on Netflix. See guys, I am one of those people who can stay, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this, I can stay indoors for 2 weeks, 1 month straight with food and internet, and I will not need to talk to anybody. I will not need to go anywhere. That is how by default I am. But of course, life does not give you that kind of opportunity. But you see, in my 20s, right? Hey God, every single free time I have, I'm asking myself, please, which movie is the one that... I'm not saying watching movies is not a good thing. It's definitely okay to, watch movies and all of that. But the truth about it is that I spent too much of my time spending time watching people who have lived their life, people who have made it in life, people who are where they are supposed to be, and I'm watching them. I spent my 20s spending so much time. I mean, you can have movie dates and all that, but now I know better. Now I try to read a book. Now I try to check what are the ways that I can invest. Even if I don't have them, maybe even if physically the money has not arrived yet for some kind of big investment, I want to know more about them. I don't want to start learning about them last minute. I want to start learning what are the ways. I want to read people's stories. I want to know how people made it to where they are today. Those are the things that are more important than lying around all day watching Netflix. I want to know what are the people in my industry that I admire. How did they get to where they are? What did they do differently? What can I do differently to make me a better person? What are the things that I can do to give me the life that I desire? Because it's not going to be handed over to me. So now I spend more time, doing things differently. There is still time for Netflix. Maybe in the nights before I go to bed, maybe after my prayers, when I know that, okay, I'm not able to sleep. Sometimes I can watch Netflix. But the point is that now it's not something that is like a daily dosage where I have to take morning pill, afternoon pill, and night pill. No, I'm not doing that anymore. The last but not the least thing I learned that was a mistake I made in my 20s was saving too little and not investing enough. In my 20s, generally by nature, I like enjoyment. I like enjoyment. I don't know how to live life and just be working and I like to enjoy myself. I like to look at myself and say, you are doing well. And then I'll buy myself chilled Coke. Those kind of little bits and pieces of enjoyment. I like to, but I've never been somebody who spends extravagantly. But I find that I was just never really intentional about saving in my 20s and investing. Now I know better. The truth about it is that each 1,000 naira, $1,000, $500, $200 you get, find a way to save a part of it, not for the sake of saving for long term. I don't believe in saving for long term. I intend to save so that when that money is reasonable for something, I can invest into that thing. So now I know better, because that is the only way you can really start to achieve the wealth that you are hoping for. I don't want to believe there's anybody that is on my channel that does not want to be wealthy, right? We're not talking about riches, we're talking about wealth, because with the wealth you are able to do more for God and also for humanity. See guys, at the end of the day, we're all different, right? What works for A just may not work for B. So as much as possible, let us try, like, whatever it is that you're doing in your 20s, if you are in your 20s, if you're in your 30s, or you're in your 40s, whatever age you are and you're watching this video, it's never too late to make it right. Whatever it was that you did that you're not proud of, it's not too late to make it right. The difference is that if you do not make it right, you're going to come back 10 years later and keep living in regret. Or are you going to choose to do it right so that at least the subsequent years you are better off, right? So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy this video and you want more chit chat videos like this, please let me know in the comments. Let me know your biggest takeaway from this video. And if you haven't subscribed, I still don't know what you're waiting for. Join the family and do not forget to turn on the notification bell so that you know when my videos go up. And I'll definitely see you guys in my next video. Let me go and wash up my hair. Bye.